you guys. I am going to try to do, it's not going to be a live video because for a variety of reasons. First of all, my internet connection sucks for live videos. It gets all pixelated out here. So there's that. And then the chance of me doing a live video and screwing up is huge, and that would irritate the crap out of me that got out. So I'm just going to be honest. So I'm going to try doing some videos like this until I'm a little bit more comfortable with doing the live thing, and once I get better internet in the greenhouse/pottery studio. So I think the first thing I'm going to do, I had a request from Gary Smith to make a left-handed, gosh, I don't remember if it was a skull or a mustache mug. Nonetheless, it was left-handed. I'll have to look up, or Gary, when I post this, message me. Putting the decorations on happens tomorrow anyway, so he wanted a nice, big, tall, left-handed mug. I also got a request from Sarah Olson to make a very tall mug, more like a stein. So I will be throwing those. So we start off, and I know this probably isn't the best angle. Maybe one of these days I can have one of my friends who volunteered to come over and actually work the camera, do that, and then we can get a better angle, but this is what we're going to have to deal with for right now. So right now, the pottery wheel, and this is not to teach anybody, I'm not teaching. I do things my own way. Here's another reason why I haven't done live videos, because I watch another potter every single night who does live videos. He literally broadcasts live from his studio every day, and I watch him. He's amazing, and people put comments up all the time, and I mean, this guy is brilliant. He's like my hero, and like people sit there and give their 2 cents worth. Oh, you should be doing this, or you should be doing that. It's like, you know what? I'm going to be blunt. Shut the F up. Unless he's in a class and you're the professor, don't criticize him. That's how I look at it. Maybe I'm a little thin-skinned, and I'll admit I'm kind of bitchy today too. I had something happen earlier today that has me in a mood. So blunt Joyce is throwing today. Isn't that fun? So anyway, so none of this is meant to teach. This is just I like to show my processes. I think people like to see that, and I think it's fun. And for some reason, watching pots grow on the wheel is very relaxing. I don't know. I mean, I literally fall asleep to it every night. So pottery wheel itself is metal. There are these little bolts on it, okay? If you just put your clay on here and you're throwing, these bolts are going to hit you in the wrist, and it's going to hurt. So what you do is you put these plastic things on that are called bats. And the reason why you do that is, I think I have 9 bats. You throw something, you take it off, put a new bat on, so you can constantly be shuffling through, and accomplish more for the day. So generally, since I have 9 bats, when I throw for the day, I will throw 9 things. I know there's some potters who are like awesome, and they can cut their pieces off the bat right away with a wire and pick it up really carefully, with either these pot picker-upper things or their hands. I'm not that good. And I'm too impatient, and I don't want to wreck something at that stage. So I'm happy we're just throwing 9 things a day. Okay, and the other thing is, too, I'm going to be really honest, okay? And this is like bitchy Joyce coming out for a second. I'm not a production potter. I would like to create more one-of-a-kind artsy things that, instead of like a production line. If people want production line pottery, they can go to Walmart and get a mug for $5.99, honestly, if they want art, I don't think art is made necessarily in a production line per se. So I'd rather make less pieces but spend more time on them and have more of my heart and soul into each piece than just, bam, 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 bam. Like this guy that I watch every night, he'll throw like 300 pots in a sitting. I just can't do that, okay? I'd rather them be a little bit more special. Ironically, he charges $125 for mugs. $125, and people pay that. God bless him. God bless him. So anyway, so what you have to do is you have to find, there's 3 little ridges on each side. You have to find that, you line that up with the bolts. Hammer it down. My cat will probably jump up and end up bugging the crud out of me at some point. So, okay, so I think the first one I'm going to throw, this is probably a little bit big, but I'd rather have too much clay and have it too big, because it does shrink like 12%-ish. I'm not really technical on stuff, so I don't really care if I'm off by a couple percent. Anybody who's watching, if they want to correct me, I don't care. So, here's the clay. You slam it down really hard. Usually my cats and dogs jump when I do that. Then what you do, start up the wheel. You have to center the clay, okay? So centering sometimes is a challenge depending on how big the piece is. I haven't thrown for 2 weeks, so hopefully I'm not gonna make a fool of myself. So you get the wheel going as fast as you can. That's how I do it. That's not how everybody does it. That's how I do it. Usually with wheels, like all the way down is as fast as you can. For some reason with my wheel, I have to back it off a little bit and I can hear the engine or the motor going a little faster. There's like a fast spot in the middle and I don't understand why. Okay, so you wedge your elbows into your body. Everybody does it different, so if this isn't how you do it, I don't care. That's how I do it. And I'm using my weight, which I'm not going to tell you how much that is, quite frankly. Oh, lovely. I can see it's already like spinning all kinds of clay onto my screen. Ah! We're going to have to find a new place for the camera, because this is not going to work. And then you get the stuff, it's called slip, slurry, whatever, on your hands. I'm not technical. I don't really, I'm not going to sit here and be like an encyclopedia of terms, It doesn't make you throw any better, just knowing what everything's technically called or all the rules, whatever. I just do my own thing. Works for me. You get to a point when you're centering where you don't feel the clay moving anymore, and then you know you're good. Okay? Yay! This is pretty good. I'm gonna get some of the crap off of the bottom. I save like all the crap and all that, the stuff that's coming off my hands. I put in another container and I recycle. Okay? And we're gonna have a crash in a second when my little kitten decides to knock over what she's working on. Speranza. Okay. All right, so there we go. So now what you do is you back it off. You take your thumbs. Make a little hole here. Pull it out. Now I know just from experience that I'm about 1 inch from the bottom. You don't want your bottoms 1 inch thick, because that's too thick. It's too heavy. And the chance of it blowing up in the kiln, if it's heavy, is greater. And we don't want that. So I'm slowly pulling that hole a little bit bigger and deeper. I don't know what the heck my cat is doing. Just seriously, be ready for a big crash. She loves playing in the greenhouse, obviously. And it's more of an effort for me to keep her out. Speranza. So this part is kind of the boring part, as you can see. I think my depth is about 1/2 inch at this point. So what you also do, you see I grabbed a sponge. I'm going back and forth on the inside and kind of condensing it. You want to smush down your clay in the center to prevent cracks. I'm going to be honest, I have been struggling with that a little bit lately. A couple of my pieces got cracks. And that really bothers me when I put a lot of effort into something and it cracks. So I'm really trying to compact that clay inside. The other thing is too, you don't want it to be too wet. And I think that's what my problem is that I'm too wet. Or my clay is too wet. For all you sickos out there. Okay, so then what you do is you slow your wheel down. Take a needle tool, okay? Needle tool, stab it in, put your finger. So right now my bottom is like that wide, or that deep. Which is pretty good, okay? So I'm gonna dry out the extra in there. I'll try to compact it just one more time. Usually when I throw, like this guy that I watch, he has this amazing music going on in the background. Well, here's the sucky thing with Facebook. You cannot have like any music in the background that's copywritten, or they will delete your video and you can get in trouble. So this guy that I watch every night, he has his friends have their own personal bands, and he plays their stuff. And seriously, like 75,000 people will watch him. And so his personal friends' bands get a lot of airplay because he has permission to do so. What I usually, I'm not a big music person. So usually when I am doing my artwork, if I'm painting, I will, I put mindless TV on in the background, honestly, like the Kardashians or any of my Real Housewives stuff, because I want something on in the background, but I don't want something that I really have to pay deep attention to. Okay, so now I have the bottom where I want. So I have some fingers on the inside, and I'm kind of grabbing and pulling. See that ridge? See how that's going up? Pretty cool, huh? Actually, my wheel's going a little faster than I normally would do here. So usually when I'm throwing in my own studio, I have Howard Stern blaring. I listen to Howard Stern. That's what I listen to. But I can't have that on in the background because that would get me in trouble. So if anybody has their own band and they want me to play that in the background, I will happily do so. Otherwise, oh my God, Speranza! Do you see that? My cat just literally jumped on the wheel. Literally. Speranza, get out of here. Did you guys enjoy that? See how I'm pulling this up? I cannot believe she just did that. So yeah, her front leg is all filled with clay. You get out of here right now. No. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye. Okay, you're gonna get covered with clay. Bye. 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 Goodbye, bye. Bye. Thank you. I cannot believe she did that. This is going to be one heck of a Stein, Gary Smith. It's still going a little faster than I want. Holy crap. This might be a little bit too big. I'm going to have to show Gary and Sarah Olson this. They both wanted big, so if you want big, lay claim to this. Okay, so I'm going to go on the bottom here. I'm going to make a little ridge with my finger. It's a little thick on the bottom here. You can see I got some extra clay. I throw it in my recycling bin. Kind of hook my thumbs together to keep my fingers across from each other while I'm trying to pull the clay up. Now I watch tons of videos of potters. Everybody does it different. Do what works for you. I know there's some people that are just hardcore and say, you have to do it this way. No, do what works for you, seriously. I don't care. It's one of the reasons why I really couldn't teach classes, because I'm just not into telling people, you know, it's my way or the highway. At least not in pottery. See how awesome that is? Now, I keep dipping in here to get the extra water out. Just because, like I said, I've been having a problem lately with my bottoms cracking. And that sucks when it happens. Now, I want that top, it's flaring out a little bit. I want it to come in. So I'm very carefully hugging the clay in. Do you see that? Just hugging it in. My dogs, you might hear them. Max, he's in a kennel right next to the greenhouse. He's actually, it's kind of funny. There is a stone wall that's like 3 feet tall adjacent to my greenhouse that kind of fills in this corner. And every year I plant beautiful plants in there. And every year the dogs decide that is where they're going to lay. So this year, as crazy as it sounds, I'm going to get some kind of weatherproof pet bed to put there. I mean, it's crazy. I keep wasting money on all these plants. Okay, I'm going to do another slow pull. I got a blob of clay there. This is going to be one hell of a mug, Gary or Sarah. I keep looking out because Speranza, my kitten, has now left the building, which means she is going to go by the dogs and try to get in the kennel and get outside. Okay. Okay, it's still a little thick on the bottom, so I'm going to try to do another pull here. So I make a little groove, get rid of that extra clay, make sure my hands are nice and wet, and you kind of just pull this groove up. When you see it kind of clunking like that, I'm hitting a dry spot, which is not good. But I'm trying to keep as little water in it as possible. So here's something else too. It's going to sound crazy. You have your different favorite sponges for different applications. Like this sponge here is much more firm. So when I'm trying to really pull something up, I use that. If I'm trying to be very careful, I use this. Now I'm going to put a sponge on the inside and outside and pull. If anything, I want this to flare in, so I'm going to use my firm sponge on the outside, because that will, now see, I'm making a little groove, see? And I'm going to try to push in. And the reason why I'm using the sponges is because before I was hitting some sticky areas, and that could throw my whole piece off center. Okay, so I do a pull, get my extra water out again, okay? I'm not going to futz with this a lot. I do want the sides to be a little bit more straight up and down. So I'm going to take this tool. I'm going to wet my sponge and wet this tool. And I'm going to kind of push against. And it's giving me a nice straight edge. I'm very super anal about stuff. I still see it flaring out a little bit. So, wet my hands a ton. That's not enough. I'm going to squeeze it in, choke it in. In fact, I might want I'm going to do something a little fancier here. I forgot who wanted the mustache mug, but this one's going to end up being the mustache mug by the way I'm going to have it shaped. I'll do something different. So I'm just choking in the top. So I think I'm going to have this, I see a little ridge that's bothering me, because again, I'm super duper anal. So I'm going to kind of flare this out, rounded, a little bit more. Okay. It's almost exactly where I want. And I'm going to choke in the top a little bit. This top, try choking it one more time. See, now it's starting to get small where I can't necessarily get my hands in as much. I'm going to try to flare this out just a smidgen. Bring it in. I think that's exactly how I want it. Then I have a piece of chamois that I should have wet down beforehand. You take the chamois, wet it down, okay, and you just fold it in half over the lip where you're going to be drinking. You want that to be nice and smooth. You don't want any jagged crusties hitting your lips. Okay, and the last step, I'm going to take a tool here, still a little bit more clay than I want at the bottom, so I'm carving it away. Again, I recycle that. Carve carving it away. Recycle it. Carving it away. Do you see how it's shaping the bottom now? Sorry, my arm's in the way. Okay, and then the very last step is I'll take a little bit of a finer pointed tool and I just kind of make a little groove on the bottom. My dogs obviously see something. Hopefully it's not a robber. There we go. So this is either Gary Smith or Sarah Olson's skull or mustache mug. Let's see. Where is my... so gross. I just got clay all over the straw of my kombucha. Yeah, guess I won't be drinking that. How gross. Okay, so then I'm dipping this in. This is a sponge at the end of a stick. Nothing fancy. I'm using this to sop up the extra water that got in there. Okay. Then the final step. Just take a sponge. Wash off your bat. There we go. There we go. So again, Gary Smith or Sarah Olson, there is the start of your mug. See you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching.